I genuinely love Solo.
Me too. I love it. Yeah.
Love it. But Lady Proxima was so amazing looking.
Mhm.
Like, I love that character. Everything about it. I'm like, oh my god, there's this weird worm thing that is like albino because it can't see the light for whatever reason, and she's coming out of this water puddle. Like, it's just so weird. And then you sound like a librarian, and it really, like, no. For me, I was like, oh, just speak whatever language and then have Han understand you. Again, that would be fine. He's lived there for a long time. It would make sense that he would understand. And then, what's his name? Not Maduk or Modular or whatever. They're speaking other languages.
Yeah.
Malik. Yeah. They're speaking other, like, God, I hated it.
Yeah. I'm with you.
So, what is, one thing, and it's very late where you are, so we're going to try to be quick. One thing that hasn't worked for you.
Yes.
That in this new era.
Yes.
You hope they fix. This is not a I hate Disney, which I know you're not this anyways. Like, this is not a I hate Disney, and this was awful.
Yeah.
What is something that after 10 years of taking something on that had a 40-year legacy, that was the biggest thing that's ever been big, is pressure? Okay, we learned a lot. This is what we learned that we need to improve upon.
Well,
if that makes sense, we're going to take a negative and turn it into a positive, constructive criticism.
And you know what?
Not a bitch fest.
We can get to the negative from the positive. So just to recap, your 3 things that you listed positively were what? Just to recap.
Visions.
Yes.
Mando.
Yes.
And the look
of Rogue One.
Andor and Rogue One.
And I'm going to say, I said Rebels, I said Skeleton Crew, and my third one will set up.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, but it works. It works. And I'll tell you why. I already complained about toys, so I'll just people know that I would have said that. We could do a whole hour on the say, like, the one thing I will say, just like the fact that, and I'm not trying to litigate the sequels with anyone in the comments. Put aside your feelings if you're listening or watching this after the fact about the films. What I'm saying is on concept, it should be illegal to make a Skywalker Saga movie that feature characters like General Leia Organa and General Lando Calrissian, and they don't get figures for that movie. Are you on crack? And that's before we even get to the Ben Solo of it all, who also doesn't have a figure. Anyway, the fact that there's no old Lando to this day should be punishable by law. Anyway, but my real third thing was going to be the High Republic initiative across the board.
Ooh,
and I will tie that in to my negative, which is this. The High Republic Initiative is a beautiful thing in that it was novels, comics, and I should note novels for adults, YA, and kids, comics for all ages. It was audio. It extended into Acolyte. It extended into YJA on Disney Channel. It was a resounding success. My criticism is that the rest of the non-movies and non-TV has not been treated with the same respect. I want that to be the model going forward. And because it used to be that there were a lot of High Republics, they were just different things. It used to be,
oh my God, we're
in the Lucas era, you had Shadows of the Empire, which was like a big thing. You had a game, you had a comic, you had the action figures, then we had the Legacy, a long sprawling comic run, the High Republic, the Old Republic comic book runs. Like, my point is that I want, like, the fact that we haven't had a book series outside of the High Republic, Thrawn has 2 trilogies, so I guess he's the outlier, but like most of the book series, I'm just looking at my shelf, most of the book series in the Disney era ended at 3. If they even went beyond 1. The comics, and this is not just a Lucasfilm problem, it's a Marvel problem, so I know that it's a wider industry thing, but like the comics have dwindled. You'll remember when the new era started, every named character got a 5-issue series, and we had Star Wars, and we had Darth Vader, and we had Afra, and we had, like, that has now dwindled down to a couple of books, a couple ongoing titles. It was going to go on longer. Let's end it at 10. Let's end it at 12. I want them, and I think we're on the edge of it, and I hope we are, because there's 2 games this year and multiple things, but like, that's great. But like, I want a shot in the arm, and I want it to be like, look, balls to the wall. If we don't know that, like, let's just use an example. Let's pick something that hasn't had movement in a while. Let's say it's James Mangold's movie, right? James Mangold is an extremely busy man. He's got like 5 movies in production at different studios. That movie, it could take years to happen if it ever does. If they feel in their heart of hearts that it's not anytime soon, grab that script and turn that shit into comic books. I'm tired. Like,
love that.
I want it going forward to be a spirit of like, the story must be told, and if we can't have it in this form, so help us, we'll have it in that one. Like Boba Fett, and I think we've done it. We've been there. Boba Fett was going to be a movie. That didn't work out. Boom, it became a show. Same with Kenobi. But the flip is true. Skeleton Crew got pitched as a movie, and it became a show. More of that, more getting it out there by hook or by crook. George wanted Revenge of the Sith to feature 7 battles on 7 planets. And if you've seen the movie, and if you're watching Pink Milk, I'm pretty sure you have, he didn't get what he wanted. He barely got a montage of those planets. So it's like, but you know what he did do? He got his story in by hook or by crook. He got his multiple planets, because then he went to Cartoon Network and he made it happen. So what I hope happens going forward in the Dave era is, I don't begrudge them announcing a story and then taking long. But I don't want any more, like, not that I feel we're entitled to updates, but like, don't leave a thread hanging because you're afraid that we'll be disappointed that it's not blank. You know, like when they had Solo and it didn't work out that we got our Solo sequels, it's like, okay, well, it didn't work out that we got the Solo sequels, but have the courage then to then say, well, you know, there were Han Solo novels back in the day. Let's do a Han Solo novel series. Let's do a Han animated short. Let's do whatever. Acolyte season 2 is not going to happen right now. Great. Okay. That sucks. But like, guess what? We have some of the most incredible people in publishing. Let's reevaluate. Let's see what could happen there. And I just think that, you know, they have to get to the point where they understand that the people that love the characters will find them. You know, the people that love these different stories will find them, and that we are not. Oh, you're good. You're totally good. People will not realize this, that Bryan had to walk away for a second, but we can be that rambly that it does not even matter. But yeah, like, it's just like, we'll find the stories. We'll find them. Just, you know, no medium is less. Like, I know that it costs money and everything, but like, you're Disney. No, you're not fooling anybody. You just casually pulled $1 billion out of a thing that nobody wanted the other day. So don't tell me you don't have the money. Like, if Solo 2 can't happen as a movie, I understand. Then why is there no Han Solo video game with the story that you would have done?
Yep.
Like that, like, I want them to understand that we're Star Wars fans. We watched a children's game show with a Jedi Knight that you made up just so you could have Ahmed Best. And guess what? That Jedi Knight is now beloved and important. We can do anything.
Oh my God, that cracks me up. Yes. Oh my God. Okay.
Just no more excuses. That's my point.
I thought we were going to go on the same tangent together.
Okay. What's your tangent?
We did not. But honestly, like, I agree 100%. 100%.
It's like, what are we doing? Like, why? Like, I don't want to sound bitter about it because, you know, I don't want to just bitch, but like, how the hell is there only one? How the hell are there only 2.5 Princess Leia novels? Like, yeah. How the hell is there
Star Wars?
Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, there used to be too many, and now there's not enough.
Star Wars can operate on a lot of levels.
Yeah.
There always needs to be the casual fan, as much as they drive Star Wars. The casual fan is what funds Star Wars.
Yes.
It is the people that buy the occasional action figure or the occasional pillow or the mugs or the tumblers or whatever. Like, we are the minority. We will buy it all. Someone is really into the books, they'll buy every book, or someone's really into the comics, or there's the video game people. Like, so you can fund, I agree, these huge initiatives. No, not everyone's going to buy all of the things. There are a few people who buy all of the things, but there are the people who buy every book. There are people who buy every comic or every video game. Like those people are out there. And I feel that maybe, and this is actually going to flow very well into what I think, what I would change, that I feel like Disney is almost operating like everyone is. They're muddling up everyone is a super fan, but then treating everyone like a casual fan at the same time.
I agree with that.
And I feel like after recording this show for the 3 years that we did and having as many conversations with Tom as I did, and because we had Tom on the show who was not a super fan, he was a casual fan at best. Tom actually brought in a lot of casual fan people, because I think like I can listen to a show because there's another person who doesn't know what a gonk droid is.
Mm-hmm.
And there are a lot of people out there who like to listen to a Star Wars podcast because a new movie or a show came out and they don't want to feel that they can't come in it because we're talking about gonk droids or azillions or whatever some random deep thing is, right? That most people don't know. I think as much as I kind of love how much Star Wars we have gotten over the last 10 years, because we got a lot. Mm-hmm. And we got a lot of Star Wars.
Yeah.
I miss when it was Shadow of the Empire. Mm-hmm. And everything was about Shadow of the Empire. I miss when it was the prequels and everything was about the prequels.
I see what you're saying.
And then it was the Clone Wars and everything is about the Clone Wars. I think because there is so much and too much TV and movies. I wrote this down here. Where did I put it? In the last 10 years, we have had the High Republic. That wasn't just the High Republic, because that was a long time ago. Then we had the Acolyte. That was a lot closer to what we know, but still far away. Then we had the Clone Wars. Then we had the prequels, but before A New Hope, we had Rogue One, Solo, and Rebels, Andor, Obi-Wan, Maul. But all of those stories were also like within a decade all over the place. Mm-hmm. Then we had post Return of the Jedi, but not super post Return of the Jedi, 5 years or so, with The Mandalorian, Ahsoka, Grogu, Skeleton Crew, the new movie that's about to come out. And then we had the sequel trilogy that was 20 years later, or however many things it was. There were so many timelines all over the place, and they all kind of still look like one another. Like the prequels and the OT look incredibly different. That I think visually helps say this is a different time. Still looks like Star Wars, but it's a different time. That I think people were really confused about when things happened. There are still plenty of people who think that Grogu is Baby Yoda. Like literally, they think he is Baby Yoda.
I will always go to this
because there was only one Yoda.
There were people that came up to me throughout 2016 when we had already had Force Awakens. So Force Awakens comes out, it makes $2 billion. Star Wars fever. It's like you remember. It's the fever pitch. Like you can't throw a rock. They're putting Star Wars on the produce. You know, like it's crazy back. And I was working at Trader Joe's at the time while I was in school, and there were so we're yapping, and multiple times people that wanted to talk to me about Star Wars asked me if quote the girl in the trailers for the new one is Rey's mom, referring to Jyn.
Oh yes,
because they knew that. They heard in the ether that this was quote before. But they don't know before what. They don't know before when or before who or before why. Like they don't know. All they hear is before. And these are, how do I say this nicely? It's like in Blazing Saddles, like these are people of the land, you know, the common clay of the New West. Like the casual is a very easily rattled, like they hear a word like before and they go into like it's like they go into explainer brain of like they got to piece it together, you know. And
it took a couple of decades for people to realize that Anakin Skywalker wasn't young Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, I mean,
did they not pay attention? So to me, like I know in Star Wars to pair with actually what you were saying, all of those different timelines can exist, but to me, they can't exist in like the mainstream.
Yeah.
That you can have the comics and the movies and the video games for those like people who will do those specific things. But I wish going forward, like we are where we are right now, right? Like it's happening. But maybe once the Starfighter movie comes out, for however many years they need it to be, just everything coming out at that time will be set around that time.
So you're saying, for argument's sake, we don't know what it's going to look like yet. We'll see. But like, for argument's sake, this new period, because I know there's obviously there's many periods, but if we're going to do main periods of PTOTST, we now will finally have a fourth. We don't know what we're going to call it yet, but it'll be a fourth. So you're saying starting in 2027, if Bryan was in Filoni's creative, whatever.
Exactly.
In the brain trust, we would put most of our eggs in this fourth period just to make it feel alive, to flesh it out, okay, I see what you're saying.
And so, like, the general audience is like, I'm watching this right now, and this is all happening at the same time.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long that needs to be. I think these other things can exist, but, like, I am less of a big comic book reader than I used to be. But I'm in it enough that I have an idea of what's going on, right? And even, like, but the MCU, I've never been a huge fan of the MCU. Like, I am a 100% casual fan of the MCU. I watch most of it. I don't watch all of it. If I'm not interested, I turn it off. And and I'm also a nerd. Like, I can follow things once you're a nerd, you're a nerd. And you can follow things along in almost anything. Because you're like, I can kind of put this together.
Learn the ways.
Right? But the MCU, like, I get so confused, and I have to talk to my kids because they're way into it. So I'm like, I don't even remember who's where, and I didn't particularly care for that movie. So, like, I don't really remember this. And that is where, earlier you'd said this too, like, Star Wars now decided it had to be an interconnected universe. And things like Rebels brought people in. The Clone Wars brought people in, but it wasn't like this interconnected universe. It was just one story. But then when we started doing things like, because it was confusing. Like, why are we watching the Book of Boba Fett? And now all of a sudden the Mandalorian is in it. And now we have 2 episodes and it's just like, it was.
But I think that's confusing to the casual. Which,
yes, like, granted, those 2 movies.
Which is, I think, what
those
you're saying.
2 episodes
you're saying
are the
to the
best.
casual. Because,
like it was
because the thing about that complaint, not to add, 20 minutes to this, because I know you're trying to wrap, but the thing that always gets me about that with hardcore Star Wars nerds, I'm not saying you're saying this, but it's just like when Din showed up in there was a lot of hardcore fans, especially during the peak of Star Wars Twitter, that were, what? They're doing this in another series? And it's just like, you're the people that would find it no matter what. Like, what are you talking? Yeah. First of all, you're the people that saw the post-credit scene of Mando season 2 that said in English writing,
know that it was coming,
what to watch next. So don't you start. Now the casual that was like, wait a second, Din and Grogu are back together. That person I have sympathy for. I do not have sympathy for the hardcores that are like, because you mentioned Clone Wars, and it's like, Clone Wars is a standalone series that, like, a lot of people grew up with on Cartoon Network, but it is fundamentally supplemental. So it's like, Star Wars is one of those things where it's like, much like Star Trek, it is now business-wise playing the shared universe game. There's always been a shared universe. Like, my example I go to is Obi-Wan, where it's like, Obi-Wan Kenobi dies in his first appearance. Every single piece of Obi-Wan storytelling is prequel, or if he's a ghost, it's sequel. Like, like Clone Wars is, let's shove a show between 2 movies. Now we do that all the time. Now Kevin Feige's got a show for everything. 100%. Like, that was fresh. I mean, the Tartakovsky micro series, the concept of getting these 5 minutes, like, mini-sodes that were going to take us to episode 3, that was crazy. Like, that was nuts.
The whole idea of a prequel?
Yeah. Of a prequel. Yeah, of a prequel.
You are young enough. Like, I'm old enough to remember the news, local news, because Star Wars, it was like, we're never going to get The Force Awakens again.
No.
We said that earlier. Yeah. That's just not going to happen. And that's okay.
You can't.
It would be, I would love it if it did, but it's not going to, right? But the prequels was the same thing. It was like, I'm gonna argue it was even bigger. Like, because back then there was just less media, there was less new
And it had
around.
been gone
now,
longer.
yeah, it had been gone longer, but it was also just things didn't come back. It wasn't like right. It wasn't like now. But you would watch the local news, and they would define what a prequel was. Because the idea of a prequel didn't. I'm sure it existed. I'm not claiming that Phantom Menace was the first prequel to ever exist, but it was the first prequel to exist on that level.
First prequel where
on the level of a Star Wars.
Being because like, you know, you can, funny enough, little piece of trivia for anyone that wants to win a trivia contest if this ever comes up. Phantom Menace isn't even the first prequel that company made. And I'm not counting Young Indy. I'm talking about Temple of Doom. Temple of Doom is a prequel to Raiders. So it's like, but the thing that's special about Phantom Menace, to your point, is that it was the first time that the idea of a before story was the drama. Like, we weren't, now it's, like you said, like you throw a book. Like they made young Carrie Bradshaw, you know, for the Sex and the City fans. Like every single thing has how did blank become blank, and that, I'm jealous of all of you that I got to see that in real time, because I was alive, but I was born in '95.
Yeah, but you were.
Yeah, so it's like I was my first one that I'm conscious for is Clones, but like it was so. It was crazy. But at that time, like, yes, okay. But, you know, I'm thinking back then, I don't even think, like, the toys weren't making... We didn't get any new toys. We didn't get any OT characters until years after... like,
you had to wait for Sith, and then had...
Power of the Force. After Sith. Like... During that time,
it was just Sith, and then years after Sith, we started getting everything. And I don't know the action figures well enough to remember like the, but you know, like you said, you know, I don't even say I'm a fan of Indiana Jones. Right, I've seen them all, and I always forget the Temple of Doom is a prequel. I can enjoy that movie just fine. It's actually probably my favorite of all of them, but I'm not watching going, oh, this is a prequel before. I don't think I would ever know. And it could, unless I think about it, because the movie's fine. Like it all functions.
Yeah, because it's not like Star Wars was the first thing where it mattered that it was that. You know, like it matters.
I will argue that it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Until the end of Revenge of the Sith, and you see the Anakin turn into Darth Vader.
Yeah.
And then you would get it anyways. You're like, oh, wait, this whole time I was watching this, and that's what was happening. Which, imagine if you didn't know any of those things, and you're a casual fan who watched them out of order. Can you imagine how mind-blowing that would be now? Like, I remember those things. Wait, Anakin was Darth Vader?
I'm sure I've told you this before.
Like, what?
Just because we've known each other for a few years, and more than... When did we meet? 6 years we've known each other now, maybe? 5 or 6? Jesus.
Oh my God. When we started podcasting...
It had to
you started before me, I think. 2019. You know what I was thinking about while we were talking?
What?
If someone was 14... they're now 21 drinking, and they could be podcasting.
It's crazy. You know, what we talk about how, like, right now, you know, I'm 30 and I was a 6-year-old for Attack of the Clones. So like that kind of says it all. Like that prequel age, like where the things right now. What I'm really excited about is not right now. What I'm really excited about is the next 3 to 5 years. And because like 5-year-old girls that watched Rey are now 15. Right? They're getting their permits. They're going to homecoming. They're dating. Like in 3 to 5 more years, the sequel kids are going to have jobs and content and shows and blogs and opinions, and they're going to become critics, and then we'll find out. Like then the chickens will come home to roost, and the bill will come due, and the cycle will repeat. People are like, oh, the prequels, it's because they're so... And it's not about better and worse. It's that you have you're pulling out early. Keep your chips in, because they're coming. Like,
because you know, truthfully, like still to this day, don't know how I feel about the prequels. Like genuinely, I don't know how I feel about them. I know I love the characters.
Yes.
I love a lot of the ideas.
Yes.
I think the execution was awful. Maybe not awful. That's probably a bit strong. I don't love the execution. And like even now that the longer I'm away from them, and it's so funny. I'm like getting on one side of people will love that I'm about to say this, and the other side's going to hate it. Old me would have hated it, but like I think The Last Jedi is the worst of them all now, personally. When I've rewatched them, even more than Tross, which I know that's like, but it's the worst one for me.
I think Force Awakens is the worst one, but like I like them all, so it's just like it's like a
I'm like
yeah.
It's like I will watch them, enjoy them. I don't know what it is. Like I don't know what it is.
I will take some of the heat off
like,
of you by getting some of my own heat. We'll both say controversial things. My controversial thing is that there is not a force on this or any other planet that could ever get me to say that the prequels are better than the sequels. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker lap.
Oh my God, I love it.
Lap Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith. And I love the prequels, and I grew up with them. But like, I think that the sequels are. And my other controversial take is that I think Rogue One is the worst of the Disney movies. So it's like there are a lot of takes, but what I'm really excited for is that is not just where we are in a few years, but it's like I cannot wait because I knew, and I'm saying this as someone that got to do it. It has been a really satisfying 10-year victory lap for us prequel kids that grew up with it. And I want to say thank you to you and other OT kids that did things the right way and were happy for prequel kids and like loved to see the change and loved to see the different way the eras look. Like you've been saying, like that's what you're supposed to do. And I can't wait to do that for the sequel kids. But what I'm excited for is for I want some sequel kid to come up to me and I want them to put their finger in my chest and tell me that their characters are better and that I don't know what I'm talking about. Like, I want that so badly because that's what's supposed to happen. I cannot wait. And especially because Rey's coming back, because then it'll mean that there will be even newer kids that will know Rey, not as a 19-year-old girl, but as a woman who already has mastery.
Oh my God.
And so it's like their view on her will be different. And the same way that like, I'm sure I've told you this. That's what I was getting at is in the years that we've known each other, I'm sure I mentioned it, that my oldest nephew, who's the same age as your oldest son, so that teen group, he has seen me play Battlefront before and has seen Jedi Luke with the green lightsaber. And the first time he saw him, he said, "Who is that?" And I said, "That's Luke." And he said, "Well, no, Luke's an old man." And he's right. Like, he's not wrong. And you have to reckon with that. And like, that's one of my favorite moments in my fandom is that moment of like, yeah, like there will be people now who are going to see Sabine for the first time as this Jedi Mandalorian hybrid that she is. And there will be other people that it'll always be weird to them that happened. And they're both right. And I think that, going forward, I'm excited to see how all of our opinions change, how things blend and don't blend. And they just need to roll with it and be willing to fail, be willing to lose.
100%. 100%. Like, I guess that's like to end on kind of where we started about when we were talking about toxic shows and positive and all that. There is a way to say, not for me.
Very easily.
And not make someone feel terrible. And there's also a way to listen to someone who said, not for me, and not take it personally. Or decide that they are also, because I'm 46 years old and say that the sequel trilogy isn't my favorite, to now say I'm just this, all of those things, because that's also not true. It's all good.
Yeah.
Like, just be honest and look for, also to go back to what we're talking about, like, I share this as a teacher now with kids because it's really, really important to me. I don't know if it's because I'm gay. I don't necessarily share that with all the kids in this day and age. I can't, sadly. Not awful. Maybe it's because I'm gay and gay people look, there's so many different kinds. It's like it's one of the things I love about being gay. Like everyone is gay. Like it is not like we are a minority group of people that is also all of the people. So then there's so many different experiences, but because broad stroke, we are hated by everybody. Like all those other things, I'm not saying they don't exist. Racism still exists in queerness, and all of the and phobias of any phobia still exists. I'm not trying to pretend like we're some rainbow land of perfectness, but generally speaking, I think a lot of that stuff, the fact that we're gay brings us all together, because all those other things still ostracized us. So we all find each other. So I feel like there's a way, as a queer person, we can listen to people who are different us easier, because there's this different bond that brought us together.
Mm-hmm.
And so, but I'm also someone, maybe this is confidence, and maybe this is something that everyone should be able to hopefully get to. As a person, I love to find people that are different than me.
Yes.
And I can go pretty extreme. And I also respect people who I can't be friends with someone like that.
Mm.
I can respect that as long as as long as you acknowledge that they are a person too, no matter how different you are, and say, I think that that's wrong, but you're still a person. And I think all people should have the ability to be polite to one another. I don't care how fake that politeness is, but it is a gift that we all need to get back to, because actually things would be a lot better. Even if you hate someone and what they stand for, and you can still smile when you see them walking down the road, and that's all you do, you will be a better person for it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And find forgiveness for things, which is sometimes much easier said than done.
Very hard.
Holding a mirror to my face. For how many people I can't forgive. There is a way to embrace how different people are. And sometimes it would be amazing if we can all go, you know what? I do not agree with you whatsoever, but I have listened to your story and I can understand how you got there. And if we could all get there, and to me, things like finding a love of something. We all love Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
Stop going and saying, well, if you don't like this, then you're not a true Star Wars fan. I think that's such a bad take, personally.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it's bad. Why do you get to decide that? You know what? You can only like the OT, and you're still a Star Wars fan.
Yeah. You could like one movie.
Okay, you like a minority of it now, but 100%. You can like one movie and still be a Star Wars fan.
And also, it's Bryan, as a teacher, you'll get what I'm going to say too. Intellectual curiosity is cool. Intellectual curiosity is sexy. Intellectual curiosity is fun. Intellectual curiosity enriches your life. And what that means in these contexts sometimes is the ability to say you now, as we've established, you now at this stage in the new Pink Milk are more sour on the sequels than you were a few years ago
at the beginning
in the original iteration of Pink Milk. I could, as a sequel, ever react to that and be like, what? How could you? But I think it's more fun to be like, but why? I like to dig into that. And the opposite is true too. There are people that love parts of Star Wars that I don't care for as much, whether that's like I mentioned, the Thrawn stuff, or Alphabet Squadron, or Jedi Fallen Order. What else am I? Rogue One. I'm a big Rogue One. That's Rogue One controversially is my least favorite of the movies. And so, but for many people, it's their number one. But those people, to me, it's I'd rather hear your take that I don't see than fight about the stuff that we're not gonna agree. I'm very happy to evangelize about any of the ones that I love. I really don't spend that much time in my day thinking about the ones I don't. I just don't like that. And the curiosity for me is if someone's I don't, it's the same as music. People listen to songs sometimes and I'm like, that's ass. But I love human passion enough to want to hear why you think that ass is not ass. I
love human passion. 100%.
Yeah. I want to know.
As a person in general, but as a Star Wars fan specifically, yes, you're 100% right. My views have soured more since then.
And I'm sure there are things you like more than you did
and
then.
You know what? Yeah, 100%. And you know what? I also can't, how I spend my time in my head when we're living up here doing whatever, I spend more time trying to find the things that I like about someone to get myself back to liking something than over here going, well, I would have done this and I would have done this. We all do that to a point because that's also part of the fun.
It is. Yeah.
It's also part of the fun to say, well, I would do this. But I think as I come back to Pink Milk. I think that is something that I am looking forward to, and hopefully finding guests, finding an audience that is like, let's just be able to talk about things, and like things can change. It's all good. Like, I want the people that want to listen to this to look forward to hearing someone who they don't agree with. Because honestly, that's kind of what the world needs right now in a lot of ways. And let's like try to help the world be a little bit better of a place, even if it's for two people talking about something that we all actually like. And again, like you said, who cares if you only like Empire Strikes Back? Super duper. That's great. You're just as valid as a Star Wars fan as me, right? You just watched Star Wars for the first time a couple of years ago. I will say it's hard to watch, but you saw this for the first time and now it's my entire life. Okay, you're hyper fixated on it right now, and maybe that will stay. That's great, right? But like that's not Star Wars. That's like anything. I'm like, oh, really?
Very performative internet age conversation for sure. For sure.
2%, right?
For
like
sure.
I hope that for you.
Yeah.
Because we all fell in love with it the first time at some point. Look forward in this new era that's going to be ripe with opinion because it's Star Wars and we all love it. Like, let that, as fans, wouldn't it be great if we could just let this era be of like, you know what? I'm just going to listen to one another. Mm-hmm. It's wishful thinking, probably. But like, there is a space on the internet to build those niches, and like we are not alone in enjoying finding intellectual conversations and debate, or the people who want to go back to the days of having a throwdown of that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard in a respectful, fun, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard sort of way, right? Mm-hmm. Like, we know we are saying these things, but like, that's not what we're saying. Like, let's get back there, because I feel part of the reason I wanted to come back to is just like I can't remember if we said this on or off, but I know I left personally podcasting like 2 years ago, and then it was a long time. We had a little minute, but it was a long time before that. I feel like I've been gone from podcasting for a long time, but I feel like there's something missing that I started to begin with, and what I started to begin with is needed again for me. And so I'm excited to be back here to try to like fill that hole, because that's what I wanted to do. But maybe some of that is like, you can have fans of different times and different things and throw some playful shade and understand that like, just because someone doesn't like something doesn't mean they hate all of it or isn't open to listening. Mm-hmm. And the word hate is so strong anyways. Like, I mean, come on. I don't know if there's anything in Star Wars that I hate other than maybe Godspeed Rebels or whatever that line was. Like, really irks me because it just.
I'm trying to think of things I actually like hate. Yeah. What do I hate about Star Wars? Some of its fans, and that's really it. That's That's really it. Said with love.
You know what I hate, and it's not even said with love. It's said with like a lot of hate. People that decided to dox other people because they don't agree and like threaten someone and their family. So please don't do that again, internet. It was a really awful thing. I don't need to go into detail.
Else we're going to cancel this show again.
Yeah, but those people I hate without any love, and probably a lack of forgiveness because you were internet people, so I did not know you, so I don't think I will ever be able to forgive you.
Said with full spite.
Yeah, Or also to that one dude who told my 10-year-old son that he needed to be more manly because he was too gay. And he's 10 and doesn't know any of those kinds of things.
And that commenter,
isn't that weird?
That commenter wasn't
that weird?
Cyril Karn from Andor.
Yeah, right. But we're like, right? Remember? Okay, that's why I was gone. People, things like that, telling some random kid that he needed to man up.
We're giving you the Invisa fingers.
Why?
That way it can't be clipped
out.
Yeah, the internet is a cesspool, and I'm just gonna say. Yep. This is not the official Pink Milk policy or Bryan's policy. I've not been told to say this. I will be monitoring the comments on this video. I will come for you. So just as a fair, and I will enjoy it.
Okay. And you know, we are in a new era, and I need to be my new YouTube self. And I should have said this about 50 times throughout this, but you know, why don't we continue the conversation in the comments?
Well, yeah.
Whether you're listening to this on Spotify or watching it on YouTube, you should let's continue this conversation. And if you don't like this video, Jesus doesn't love you. What are some of the other things that people do to get the things?
The Jesus doesn't
Smash
love
the
you.
like buttons,
and that you support the war if you don't like this video, and you hate kids like we're gonna say Chapel Roan does.
Okay.
You hate
also,
ballet and opera.
This is a queer podcast. That should be my catchphrase. If you don't like this video or like this podcast and subscribe, you hate gay people.
You hate gays. Yeah.
Should that? I don't know. Does that lend itself to the?
I wonder. We could almost
fun and positive.
We could almost focus group it, like get it done, but get it done in like Orabesh. Like, if you don't love Pink Milk, you hate gay people. But people will just think it says
I like that.
May the force be with you. You know, be like, oh, it says hope.
I love it. All right, sir. Thank you very much. Where can people? Oh God, see, I haven't done this for a while. Where can people find you?
You can find me at that Alden Diaz, ThatAldenDiaz on Instagram and on Blue Sky. Anytime with Ken and Alden airs Fridays, 11 Pacific, 2 Eastern. Casually Talk is every week, talking about Game of Thrones, Lord of the Rings, and all that. Star Wars podcast has been on hold for a while, but I can tell you that there is something I'm working on that'll start in May, so stay tuned. If you like Star Wars. Bryan already knows about it. It is something Star Wars-y that is going to be a huge ongoing project, and I'll tell you what it is soon. It will start with Din and Grogu. You can guess why, because it's, we got the movie, so that'll be coming soon. But thanks again for having me. Excited that you're back. Can't wait for more.
Thank you. I'm very excited to be back. You can follow me as of right now. I'm only on Threads and Instagram at servingpinkmilk.com. Follow me on Threads at servingpinkmilk. There we go.
Good enough.
Email me at servingpinkmilk@gmail.com. Leave a comment. All of those things. All right, sir. You know what? This was an honor. You're one of my favorite guests to ever have, so it's a wonderful time. First person to be back. First podcast in a long time. With that said, it's been a long time since I've been able to do this. Drink up.